Prashant, will we be recording the
Yes.
Pleasure meeting both of you, Dr. Ramesh Kumar and Mr.
Likewise. It's a
Likewise.
pleasure, yeah.
In fact, I think Dr. Ramesh was very forthcoming. The first thing I saw was his message. It was so very nice of him.
Thank you so much.
I think that's what an MSME always needs, a hand of friendship hand extended.
Definitely. Raviji, you're from which part of the country? Which location are you from?
I am currently based in Noida, Delhi.
Delhi, okay.
Delhi. I was earlier in Ahmedabad. I'm based out of Delhi.
Okay.
What about you, Dr. Kumar? Mumbai?
I'm in Mumbai. Amchi, Mumbai. I'm originally from Kerala.
Okay.
I'm born about Mumbai. Yeah.
In fact, I used to go a lot to Kerala because my first job was into tea. And I used to go to Munnar via Udmalpet and Polachi. I used to get down at Coimbatore and then take that way.
Yeah.
Via Tamil Nadu, then you hit Munnar.
Munnar. That's the border of it.
Yes.
So, we'll wait for another 2 minutes for everyone to join in, and then we'll start.
Great.
You can share the link, Prashant, which I can forward it to.
Yes, I'm doing that right now. So I guess we'll start with the session.
Yeah.
Right. So a very good evening to all the panelists, and thanks a lot for being a part of this.
Good evening. Namaste.
Namaste to everybody.
So welcome all the attendees who have joined in from all parts of India. Right. I'll just start with a brief intro of Inspirint. So basically, Inspirint is a platform which is dedicated to showcase inspirational life journey and also discuss and debate social changes in our professional and personal lives. This entire web series, which is titled World 2.0 Reset, is being powered by Radio City 91.1. So, MSME is a sector which is going to define how we are going to, come out in the future. So that is why we decided to have this webinar. On the panelist, we have Shri Ravi Nandan Sinha. Mr. Sinha has a 25 plus years of successful varied industries experience across Indian states, starting from agri-based operations to BFSI to international marketing. And now he's taking projects and key assignment of consulting and international tie-ups for Indian MSMEs. He's a BCom graduate and MBA in finance, working closely and promoting government's Make in India venture. Had made Mr. Sinha interact with many heads of states of different countries visiting India, like PM of Japan, President of Gabon, President of Kenya, Mozambique, Seychelles, and more recently, the President of Brazil. So welcome, Shri Raviji.
Thank you, Prashant.
So moving on, we have Dr. G. Ramesh Kumar. Dr. Kumar brings with him over 2 decades of rich and varied experience in the BFSI, equity broking, gold loan, and MSME in retail, HNI, and corporate segment, having served in senior management roles with reputed brands. He is a philanthropist, thought leader, BSFI expert for 2 decades. He is also a startup mentor, inspirational speaker, recipient of prestigious and coveted Karamveer Chakra Award 2019 by United Nations and Econgo for leading social change and changing mindsets. Dr. Ramesh Kumar is the founder chairman of SSLR Bharat Group of Companies, and he's also Director General with All India MSME Association based out of Mumbai.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Welcome, Dr. Kumar. So our third panelist is Shri Shiv Kumar ji. He's a social entrepreneur and institutional builder. He has 30 years of experience in solving complex social problems in India and internationally. A postgraduate in management, he is the co-founder of the Catalyst Group of Institutions. He has incubated and supported over 200 plus community organizations and social enterprises. He is also an advisor to the Walmart Vriddhi program. Now, this program, we'll be discussing about it in brief, which is a very good initiative taken by, Swasti Foundation and Walmart. Mr. Shiv Kumar is currently leads the COVID Action Collab, a network of 256 organizations representing the public, private, civil society, academia, who believe that by pooling our expertise and resources, learning from HIV response, we can address the problem of COVID. So welcome, Shri Shiv Kumar ji. So, so moving on, we are talking about many things regarding MSME. Now, this is a sector, it's a huge sector. Many people have, they were waiting for the financial package, which was announced by the finance minister. Okay. Then we have, after that, we have many retailers who are seeking MSME tag to get these kind of government support. Now, there are some news also, like according to the All India Manufacturers Organization, we have about 35% of MSME and 37% of self-employed individuals who have started shutting their business. Okay. We have many, I think yesterday we saw Atlas Cycle shutting down their business. There's a news, Atlas Cycle has shut down their business, which has left thousands and thousands of workers, with no job. Now, India has over 65 million MSME employees, over 150 million people, and over 130 million people are self-employed, right? And we have recently, the Prime Minister has come up with Atmanirbhar Bharat, okay, and going vocal for local, and then local to global. Now, these are all phrases which are, it's boycott China products and go Atmanirbhar are very good to hear, and this, but are we actually, in reality, are we up to it? Okay, that is one question we have to answer. And with MSME, Atmanirbhar Bharat, I guess MSME is the sector which will kind of play a major role in this, right? Plus, yesterday we had the Union Cabinet approving the new definition of MSME, and it has widened it up to 50 CR investment and 250 CR turnover. So, moving on with all this going on in MSME, okay, I would like to start with Sri Ravi Sinha ji, okay, about our first topic, like what the challenges we are facing in today's time, okay, because of this COVID-19 situation, all those businesses which are on the verge of shutting down, okay. So what is the way forward? How do we go ahead rebuilding everything, taking the help of the government and everything? So, what are the challenges we face, and how to go ahead with it?
Thanks, Prashantji. Thank you very much. It's not a very small challenge that you're going to face, or how do we face it? This is a pandemic which is worldwide. And let me tell you, we are just coming out of the lockdown, but the real issue will start now when you're going to go and stand on your feet. अब आपके सामने बड़ी challenges हैं. I'll be mixing my English and Hindi, Prashant ji, if you don't mind.
जी 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 हाँ.
The challenges starts now. Remember one thing, it's like you were cruising at a speed of 70, 80 kilometers an hour and suddenly you had to brake. And once you stopped, you are now, you see a lot of problems coming into your vehicle. This is not only your problem, it's a global problem. It's not only you who is going to face it, it's globally, everybody is going to face it. How are you different? I'll come back to it. थोड़ी देर में मैं आपको वो भी बताऊंगा. How are we going to start? Remember one thing, there are 2 points to it. एक तो सब लोग start देखने के लिए, everybody is seeing towards Atmanirbhar Bharat and the packages that has been launched, right? And then comparing it with what is happening globally. So let me tell you first and the foremost thing is, we are not a country like Singapore, Japan or US, where there can be an actual stimulus package coming on to us. MSMEs, whoever has to understand, it's an economic package that is coming to us. There is a difference between a stimulus package and an economic package. Please understand, we have poor people also in this country. We have 200 million poor people also in this country. There are a lot of people who are inquiring, sir, what are the benefits that's going to come to us? So please understand one thing, it's not a credit benefit that is going to go to you. It's not a cash benefit which is going to go to you. It's going to be the credit benefit which is going to go to you. And why is it not going to be a cash benefit? Because you're not a Russia, you're not a America, you're not a Japan. Your GDP is, you cannot match their GDPs, or your per capita income is not as compared to what it is in US, or what it is in compared to Singapore, which is giving a cash incentives. What is the immediate challenge to you is, and as I had said in my previous webinar also, and whenever I meet people, is please have a short-term goals of how do you revive yourself, how do you first stand yourself. Your first goal is how do you stand and you get moving, seeing all those difficult things that is in your scenario. What is the thing that is in your control which can make you start? I don't say you reach 50% of your sales level, but you start at least 10% of your sale level, for which you need short-term plannings again. You need to go back to drawing boards. You need to have your plans again in place. And more importantly, Prashantji and my colleagues on the panelists, we need to understand the government schemes available to be utilized. Let's not go by hearsay. Let's understand each and everything and then follow that.
Right, sir. Okay, so I'll move on to Dr. Ramesh Kumar. Your views on the same?
Yeah, just to add to Raviji, definitely what he has mentioned is, it is more of a a crisis which is coming, and every other enterprise today has to revise or reinvent the entire, rather I would say redesign the entire business model. Looking into the short-term requirements in. And as it is, there is a challenge. Definitely, Corona has come as a war. Earlier also there was an economic war. If everybody is aware about the financial crisis which everybody was facing in, the liquidity crunch, because coming from the BFSI background with the different issues which were there, and this is just added to that particular war. So there is a Corona war, there is an economic war. Now, how do you put connect all the dots and see how you live for today. As it is, the first 21 days lockdown has actually cost us around 7 to 8 lakhs of crores for the Indian economy. And I think once the lockdown also gets the situation normalizes, we don't know what is the number. So with the present scenario, I think it's all about coming back. Every other companies and industries need to understand, change the way they work, they do the business. There are challenges. There is a financial challenge. There's a liquidity crunch. There is a production related crunch, technology related. Everything is virtual today. The very purpose we are all connected on a webinar. Otherwise it should have been on a one-on-one interaction, maybe in a particular location anywhere in the country. So I can see series of webinars happening, interactions are happening, even board meetings are happening online. So virtual transformation is the need of the hour. And I think that is where we'll have to sit and actually plan out, review the entire process going forward. That's what I personally feel at this minute when you speak about the challenge.
Thank you, Dr. Ramesh. Yes, like moving on, Shri Shiv Kumar ji.
Yes, Prashant, thank you. Firstly, thank you for this opportunity to address people who are really interested in this issue, and with a great panelists to go along with it. Every crisis causes pain and also provides an opportunity to come out better. And as Dr. Ramesh was saying, there was already pain with or without COVID in terms of the financial markets being in a tough place, and a number of reasons which had led to the economic side not looking that healthy as one would have expected. And now we add the COVID one, which Ravi ji, as he mentioned, is not a national phenomenon, it is an international phenomenon. Just to complement what my colleagues are saying, I would like to bring in a perspective of the interconnectedness of the economic cycle, right? Now, interconnectedness of the economic cycle begins with demand, right? There is a suppressed demand today. People are not going out and buying things. Naturally, you and me won't buy because rational behavior is not about buying now, other than essential products. Now, when demand is disrupted and when your supply is disrupted because of the lockdown, and when your labor and your people to produce it is disrupted because of the shutdown, doing one thing at a time is not going to help, right? Throwing in money or any kind of stimulus package, and Dr. Ramesh very eloquently put it, it only probably is addressing some 7-8% of all the MSMEs. So even if it were to reach those 7-8 MSMEs in the right place, without the demand, what are they going to do with the financial capital, right? And as Ravi was saying, even if they were to plan for 10-20% production capacity, as they revive that economic cycle, I think you need people to produce those, right? And particularly where the manufacturing is heavily dependent on labor, which is in many cases good for a country like India, because the more employment oriented, it also has a knock-on benefit in terms of employment, right? So let's think about this in three ways, right? There is demand, there is financial capital, and there is production, right? Now there is a disruption in all three. And if we have to revive it, we have to look at this interconnectedness and work together in all three. Now let me give you one example of what apparel industry is thinking about, which is employs 100 million workers. Many of them are MSMEs. And when you look at apparel industry, it's a market actually is abroad, right? The bulk of the production is for brands which are consumed in the West, right? And if the demand doesn't pick up there, what are the brands going to buy here? And how will the factory survive? And without the factory surviving, how are we going to actually see the demand pick up? And how do we offer jobs for the migrants who are left home? And even if you have factories which wants to restart, we have a challenge of labor and financial capital. So I think we are, in my view, we are taking a very fragmented approach to the revival. We are not looking at the interconnectedness of the global markets and the cyclical nature of the economic markets. Thank you.
So yeah, so it's basically, we have all the stimulus package. We have not the stimulus package, sorry. We have the economic package, which is by the finance minister and all. but yes, going forward, the demand of the product, okay, and with this reverse migration which has happened right now, we have millions of people shifting from Maharashtra, Delhi, all the western northern region to the eastern part of India, right? So out here, even if you start, okay, would you have the skilled and unskilled workers which are required by the the factories and everyone, the laborers, everything. So
Shanji, here I would like to add one point.
yeah,
See,
sure.
for the benefit of all the viewers and Shiv Kumarji, since you are from an apparel background, we talk of migrant movements. We do not talk about the reason of migrant movements. Sir, again I will say, Dr. Ramesh, it is a temporary phase. These are the people who got caught at a very short notice and could not reach their destination during lockdown informations. The lockdown happened at a 4 hours notice. They could not move. Now, once the opportunity came in, it's a human nature. For example, if you are stuck somewhere, you would obviously like to go back to your parents for a while. But I don't see a migrant problem, a major problem, Mr. Kumar. This is a problem wherein they will come back. It is in phases. They may not come in 15 days. They may come in 3 months. All the reports that we are publishing, we are saying between 3 to 6 months, the migrant workers will slowly start coming back. So I will not say the reason is that they are going forever. There have been expatriates coming back, moving out, countries. In fact, we should be proud. Our country did Vande Bharat mission. We brought back our citizens from various places. I think kudos to the government of India. So it is a human's, I can say, psychological effect where I was stuck. I did not know what is going to happen. Now, when I'm getting an opportunity, I'm going back and revisiting. Mr.
Yes, sir,
Kumar.
but
Yeah,
I just add, but what about, one of the state governments saying that you need the approval of the government before hiring people of that certain state. And then you have, like, so states like UP, Bihar, and, they are trying to retain that chunk of labor which has, migrated back. So I guess in a way it's good also. Okay, because the closer you stay to your home, it is good. But then what happens to the other, this thing? Like it opens up the local market, the local people out here, they will start at least, yeah.
I would like to make a point here on the migrant laborers. That was a scenario or a situation which, when there was a lockdown overnight, it was said that there was be a lockdown for 21 days, and everybody got stuck up. And when it was opened up, then they, whatever little time they had, they tried to reach out, right? As the VG mentioned. But definitely they will come back. But when will they come back is a big question mark here. Because Corona as a virus which has come in, which is a pandemic across the globe, we don't know when is this going to get over. And this may take another 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, we don't know. However, there is a fear of the mindfully, if you talk about the safety aspect of it, where the migrant workers, even the other employees also today, even in the metro cities also, people are not coming out that openly. They're just scared about even coming back to the office. Even so, basically, what my point here is, it is like more of digitization as it was. Right now we're in the digitized economy. We're talking about the gig economy, and everything is getting virtual. All the MSMEs who never were online is getting into the online platform. So definitely, for a IT related industry, or that particular, where there is no human intervention required to come to the office, it can be work from home kind of concept. Everybody is working from home. But definitely for factories where workers need to come in, they have to be brought in, and maybe it would be more of a staggered way. It has to be in shifts they need to work in. because keeping the social distancing in place, taking care of their health aspect of it, because that's again more jahan hai
Yes.
to jahan hai.
This is what
So
Dr. Ramesh, I was trying to say, that this migrant problem is going to be resolved because they are going to sooner or later return.
yes, yes, yes.
So we should not think this as a very big reasons. It is a temporary phase. I see it at the most. We can call it from 3 to 6 months. If Mr. Shiv Kumar agrees to me, I can see him smiling, because a person who is used to a migrant workers who's been used to working in say a Maharashtra mill will definitely come back. Will definitely come back. People from India will not stop going to Dubai. It's that they will go to Dubai. I have my friends who came back to India during this Vande Bharat time. They will go back perpetually.
Raviji, I like your confidence and I partly agree with you. I don't disagree. But let me provide a different perspective on this. I think migrant is not a problem. They are the nation builders for us, right? And I feel bad even to say it's a migrant problem. These are all, firstly, human beings, workers who build, who maintain our houses, who build our metros, who build our factories, who produce things for us. And I know, Raviji, you didn't mean it like that, but I'm just saying that I think when general discourse around migrants happen, because I worked with migrants and 1/3 of our country migrates every year for work, there are different categories of migrant workers, right? There are those in Mumbai who come and settled and been there for 30, 40 years, who, if you want to put a tag of migrants from Tamil Nadu, from Tirunelveli, who come and settle down there, there's that type of migrants. There are those who come for 6 months, and when harvest happens back home, they come back. So there are different categories of migrants. So I think one we need to keep in mind is that those who are into full-time employment, who are more or less migrated to the city and have been staying there, are likely to come back. Those who have been coming and going, and I'll give you an example because I work on migration not just in India, but also in Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Nepal. Some of the Nepali migrants I used to interview, they used to say, India stands for something for us, particularly when they migrate to Bihar. I said, what does it stand for you? Because it's an economic opportunity. As a big brother, I felt, oh, they are coming and they're getting jobs in our country. He said, India stands for, I will never do it again. Right? I go to Bihar, I slog it out there, I come back, and I say, I don't want to go there. If it is a Delhi, Bombay, or Bangalore, I'm willing to go, but not to Bihar. That was long back. Things are also changing in Bihar. So in this argument of workers coming back, I also again see an opportunity. As Raviji, as demand picks up, we may not need that many workers in the beginning, right? If it is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% of, God willing, Rameshji, if Atlas does open back, it's one of my favorite cycles. I rode it as a child, right? If the demand picks up, I think the workers coming back may sequence in a way which may not be necessarily bad. Let's look at another paradigm, right? There are a lot of new jobless people in urban areas now, right? Because they have chosen not to go back, or they are from the urban area, right? And there is a lot of retooling of certain industries. You can't suddenly get a machine turner without any qualification to do machine turning. But there are people who can be, moved into other trades, which I again see as an opportunity for workers to revive. All said and done, I think I go back to my argument as we roll back. I mean, we are a resilient country. We have seen, this is not the first pandemic to hit us. Spanish flu was the first pandemic to hit us. We have seen many other this thing. We will revive. We are a very strong country. But as we do, what's the method to the madness? Are we going to inject money alone? Are we going to look at workers alone? Or are we going to look at demand alone? I think we have to look at it together, not in spurts coming from various angles.
So, coming back to our topic, we have, the government has taken various initiatives. Okay. So, apart from the financial package and other, the widening of the definition of MSME. Yeah. Sri Raviji, would you like to, tell us about the government initiatives which has been there, and how the people can actually avail them in the sense how it is helpful for the MSME sector?
प्रशांत जी, I think one of the gentlemen wrote कि हम लोग थोड़ा सा हिंदी में भी बोलें.
हाँ,
So for the benefit of everybody, I'll try and mix English में भी बोलूंगा और मैं हिंदी में भी बोलूंगा आपके लिए. ठीक है. So सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको ये बता सकता हूँ कि प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दिस कि गवर्नमेंट आपके साथ है, आपको पूरी तरीके से मदद करने की कोशिश कर रही है टू मेक यू स्टैंड ऑन द फीट अगेन. इस पैकेज को जितने भी हम लोग एमएसएमईज हैं, इंडस्ट्री वाले हैं, अगर हम लोग इस पैकेज को एज अ वन टाइम बेनिफिट ना समझें तो हम लोग सबके लिए ये बेटर होगा, बिकॉज इट्स नॉट अ वन टाइम ट्रांसफर. सबसे पहले तो आप ये देखिए. दूसरी चीज, इस अनाउंसमेंट में बहुत सारी अदर अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी हैं. मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि आप जब ये आत्मनिर्भर भारत के अनाउंसमेंट्स को देखते हैं, स्पेशली हु इज एन एमएसएमई, हु इज एन स्टार्टअप, हु इज अ माइक्रो, हु इज अ फार्मर, he should see from a combined perspective. गवर्नमेंट एक एक सेगमेंट पे आके उसने कोशिश किया है, आइदर थ्रू रिफॉर्म्स और थ्रू बैंक्स और थ्रू वेरियस अदर सेगमेंट्स आपको हेल्प करे. बड़ा छोटा सा आपको एक उदाहरण देना चाहता हूं मैं. ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, आई थिंक मेरे सीनियर पैनलिस्ट भी इस चीज को मानेंगे, बैंक में कॉन्फिडेंस कम आ गया था आपको पैसा देने के लिए. बैंक एक कॉल लेती है जिसके माध्यम से आपको पैसा देती है. दैट्स हाउ दे लेंड. द बैंक क्रेडिट लेंडिंग capacity or aggression had fallen down drastically. Now, once this announcement has come, you have to also see that the government, through credit guarantee trust schemes, is telling the banks that we will take the guarantee. So you should feel that government is trying to make understand कि भाई अगर बैंक्स को कहीं पे बॉटलनेक है, हम सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं थ्रू क्रेडिट गारंटी ट्रस्ट. सो यू कैन गो अहेड. सिमिलरली जो हमारे सेंट्रल बैंक हैं, आरबीआई हैं, वो स्कीम्स ला रहे हैं. सो यू हैव टू सी इन बोथ द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ व्हाट आर यू गोइंग टू गेट, what are the reforms is going to come in, what benefits will come out of the reforms. मेरे पास जो मैक्सिमम क्वेश्चंस एंड क्वेरीज आते हैं वो उनके आते हैं who are in between the stage of starting up something or who wish to stand something. They want to stand and make their own entity. So please don't get confused there. You have a separate scheme there already available called Prime Minister Mudra Yojana. You have a scheme called PM EGP, Pradhan Mantri Employment Generation Program. Please look into that. MSMEs, आपके लिए बहुत से सेक्टर्स में अपॉर्चुनिटीज आ रहे हैं. अगर आपकी स्कीम्स कुछ आई नहीं है, वो आने वाली हैं. वेट करिए, गवर्नमेंट का प्रोसेस है, नोटिफिकेशन होता है, नोटिफिकेशन से इंटरनल पॉलिसीज बनते हैं, वो बनेंगे, आएंगे, रोल आउट होगा, आपको उनके ऊपर बेनिफिट्स मिलेगा. बट रिमेंबर वन थिंग, कल को आप प्लीज बैंक्स को ब्लेम मत करिएगा अगर वो फिर से कॉल नहीं लेंगे, क्योंकि बैंक आपके ऊपर आपकी कैश फ्लो साइकिल जरूर देखेगा. इट इज अ मस्ट. आप भी अगर किसी को पैसा देंगे तो आप चाहेंगे कि उसकी रीपेमेंट कैपेसिटी कितनी है. टू स्टार्ट विथ, आई थिंक वी हैव टू सी the entire things under this perspective.
Just to add to that, Nandan ji, if I can share, the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan जो मोदी जी ने लाया है, our Prime Minister. Now, compared to the entire other countries, whether it is US or Australia or Germany, wherever, I think this ये जो मैं हिंदी में भी थोड़ा सा ऐड करूँगा इसको, because few of the participants would like to hear in Hindi. So ये जो पैकेज है 20,000 करोड़ का, 20 lakh crore stimulus package, this is one of the fifth largest among the G2 economies में आता है, जो हमारा 10% of the GDP कवर कर रहा है. और मोदी जी जो बोल रहे हैं ऑफ आत्मनिर्भर, जो मतलब सेल्फ रिलायंट बनिए, मतलब हम वोकल लोकल वी कैन प्रोड्यूस एंड मेक इट ग्लोबल. तो इसमें एक बात में ही एक इतनी बड़ी पॉजिटिविटी है, बिकॉज वी आर वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट अबाउट व्हाट वी आर doing in, because we have the best of the best talent and technology. We are good at our innovations and in the intellectuals we have. Crisis में हम किसी भी चीज को withstand करते हैं. अब ये भी आज एक ऐसा माहौल बन गया है कि एक चैलेंज आ गया है. अभी there's a challenge. अभी आज हमारे प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में, फैमिली में या घर में एक प्रॉब्लम हो गया. So we have to withstand with that challenge and move ahead. उसी तरह से आज economically, if there is a challenge which has come, so the country as a whole, the entire population has to come together and take it forward. That's how it has to be looked into. Definitely, government is taking their steps from their end and to making it very, helpful, come as a sigh of relief in the form of package. And जैसे MSMEs की हम बात करें, माइक्रो सेक्टर्स में, माइक्रो स्मॉल और मीडियम एंटरप्राइज, माइक्रो एंटरप्राइजेस में ही अराउंड मेजर जो percentage है is around 93%, and around 7% is around 6.3 crore का जो टोटल फिगर है रजिस्टर्ड MSMEs. आज इनफैक्ट उद्योग आधार रजिस्ट्रेशन ये कहीं MSMEs को इसके बारे में जानकारी ही नहीं है. There are more than 100 schemes which were already launched in the past, but many of the MSMEs were never aware about it. We get a lot of calls saying that they want to register with Udyog Aadhar. Now that the government has initiated and launched this, let us register in the Udyog Aadhar. Udyog Aadhar का भी अगर हम एक statistics निकाले, only 98 lakh of MSMEs have only registered as Udyog Aadhar. So imagine the kind of potential, the kind of number, 6.3 crore already registered MSMEs not even have gone and taken the Udyog Aadhar, because that is required to get the stimulus package, whether it is through the CGT, MSC scheme or any other scheme. So I think lack of awareness, चीजों की schemes की जानकारी 99% of the MSMEs को आज के पास है नहीं, और जो मेजरली आते हैं माइक्रो एंटरप्राइज के कैटेगरी में. तो मुझे लगता है एक अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम through various associations, like I'm also part of the All India MSME Association. We are reaching out to all the MSME segment. We are promoting them. हम उनको इसकी awareness दे रहे हैं कि किस तरह से वो अपनी चीज़ों को आगे ला सकते हैं, उनको बढ़ावा मिल सकता है, उनको schemes की benefit ले सकते हैं. Then there are very different knowledge management companies जो इसको करती है, जो MSMEs को help करने की कोशिश करती है. Because MSMEs एक business का idea लेके आता है, but बाकी के जितने भी schemes है इनकी उतनी जानकारी नहीं होती है, और वो जाते भी नहीं है, because उनको business develop करना है, profitability चाहिए, productivity चाहिए, वो focus लेते हैं. But backend में जो चल रहा है, जो government उनको schemes जो दे रही है, इसकी जानकारी है नहीं. तो आज ये ऐसा एक मुकाम आया है जहाँ पे वो everything has come for a halt, सब रुक गया. यहाँ पे अब उनको लग रहा है कि अभी आना चाहिए, and definitely everyone will get the benefit, and government is very is kind enough to bring all those schemes through the medium of the banks and through other mediums of associations or different professionals and experts like NSIC is one of them, National Skill Industries Corporation. They all should reach out to all the MSMEs and create an awareness. Schemes की awareness होना बहुत जरूरी है. This is only lacking in the MSME segment today. I think once that comes in, everybody will get that confidence. सबको एक अपने में एक आत्मविश्वास आएगा, और वो इस schemes को value करेंगे और वो उसका लाभ भी उठा पाएंगे.
Ramesh ji, if I may share our experience as part of the Walmart Vriddhi program, which seeks to work with around 50,000 MSMEs, and we began first in the Panipat as the first cluster, and you are absolutely right. One of the things when we did a quick study in that cluster, what we found is there is a lot of confusion on what the government schemes are, how will it benefit them, how do you apply. See, this is not like a ration card. As you rightly said, these are business people running enterprises. They have not been looking at what government is going to publish as a as a scheme. So I think to us it looked like a bridging which is required, which is played by MSME associations, of course. So what we did was we did a series of webinars, and we have also, and we are very happy to share that if anybody is interested in this We have put together all the government schemes. 26 of them are applicable to MSMEs, right? And we have inventoried them, what is applicability, what kind of applications, where it will not apply. Although government has made it clear, we have brought it all into one compendium, and we are very happy to share that. In addition, what we did is a series of webinars for the Panipat cluster, and where for thousands of MSMEs, we shared this, and we also invited SIDBI, which is one of the key partners for government, to come and share that what are the next step if somebody is interested in taking one of the schemes. What next do we do? So these kind of a compendiums are required. In addition, awareness has to be built. But I want to go back to what Raviji said, which is an excellent point. Don't look outside, right? As a business enterprise, you have to look inside first. Conserve cash. Look at how you can set the house in order. Because if you, during this period, if you are not having a short-term strategy to survive, thriving comes later, right? The survival strategy is about conserving cash, ensuring getting as much as possible, getting liquidated the stocks, and getting into short-term production, which is within your capability, right? The medium to long-term plan, as the economy picks up, is a totally different ballgame. And that is where I think these schemes and support systems which are coming in can be really useful.
In fact,
I'd like to also add one more thing which is missing in many of the financial instruments, which is very important here, because nobody talks about the gold loan part of it. Gold loan financing, gold financing. Because I come from the a stint of around 8 years in the gold loan industry. Because today gold monetization is something which we should look into. And gold loan has been always a last resort for any family. And I think right now it is a need of if there is a challenge to get if there's a liquidity issue, and if you're finding it difficult to get finance from the bank through either working capital loan or any other term loan or anything of that, you should actually come forward and for a short-term perspective, for the purpose of working capital, actually you can pledge your gold. That's another way to look into, because every family today in our country, consumes loan in some way or the other. Either you use it for your consumption, or you either keep it in the bank locker or at home. What I personally feel is that one could unlock the value of that particular gold ornaments, and reach out to the banks. Public sector banks are there, private sector banks are there, NBFCs are there. You can take a loan that will help you to run your business for a short time, till the time you get your things in place. So this could be one instrument. Likewise, bill discounting, factoring. There are many things into it. So primarily, these are certain things, instruments which should be made available. The awareness should go to the last mile, the people there, the mass and the class, especially the mass who are really struggling for liquidity. So that's one point which thought I should add to this particular option.
In fact, Prashant, I'm just translating all this in Hindi for all the people who are in this webinar. दो बहुत ही अच्छी चीजें अभी ऊपर आई हैं हम लोगों के बीच में, एंड ये हमारा फर्ज बनता है आप लोग को बताने के लिए. मिस्टर शिव कुमार ने एक बड़ी अच्छी बात बोली कि अगर आप अपना बिजनेस कर रहे हैं तो ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आपको क्या क्या गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स अवेलेबल है वो स्कीम्स जानिए. और वो स्कीम्स जानने के लिए आई थिंक जैसे आज हम लोग इस पैनल पे हैं, यदि आप इसके बारे में और जानना चाहेंगे प्लीज कनेक्ट विद इंस्पायर. आई थिंक प्रशांत जी के से आइए, एंड वी आर ऑलवेज अवेलेबल. जैसे कि बहुत ही अच्छा मिस्टर कुमार ने बोला दैट दे डू अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम. सिमिलरली एमएसएमई बिजनेस फोरम डज प्रोग्राम. सिमिलरली डॉक्टर रमेश कुमार डज प्रोग्राम. हमारा इंटेंशन है पहले हम आपको ये बताएं आपके पास अवेलेबल क्या चीज है, रादर देन गोइंग आउट. सेकेंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग जो डॉक्टर रमेश कुमार ने आप लोगों के लिए बोला, यदि बैंक आपको इस वक्त फंडिंग या लेंडिंग नहीं करता है, अपॉर्चुनिटी, मैं आपको एक बात बताता हूं, हमारा कंट्री, एंड आई एम टेलिंग यू मिस्टर प्रशांत, हमारा कंट्री का एक बहुत अच्छा स्ट्रेंथ है. हमारे कंट्री में ना हमारा सेविंग रेट्स आर ऑलमोस्ट 17 to 18%. हम सेविंग कंट्री हैं. याद रखिएगा, जब हम सेविंग कंट्री है ना तो तो हम बहुत जल्दी बाहर आएंगे इस रिसेशन से कंपेयर टू अदर यूरोपियन कंट्रीज. हम बहुत जल्दी बाहर आएंगे. व्हाट डॉक्टर रमेश इज ट्राइंग टू टेल यू इज, यदि आपको कुछ समय के लिए कुछ चीजें प्लेज करनी है टू स्टार्ट, इट्स देयर इज नो हार्म, कोई गलती नहीं है. बट व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से इज योर गो लोकल प्रोग्राम जो पुश हो रहा है, जो हम लोग देखेंगे, पीपल विल स्टार्ट परचेजिंग मोर ऑफ लोकल आइटम्स. वी विल बी पुशिंग मोर ऑफ लोकल आइटम्स. सरकार ने बोला है अप टू 200 करोड़ ऑफ प्रोक्योरमेंट विल बी थ्रू लोकल. दिस विल बिल्ड योर कॉन्फिडेंस. चीजें आएंगी आपके लिए. सो डोंट बी डिसहार्टन. पैंडेमिक इज गोइंग टू स्टे, but we will be among the top 5 countries to come out of it in a more faster way. What do you say, Dr. Kumar?
Very much, very much. In fact, I was listening to our Prime Minister, Honorable Modi ji, day back, and so was mentioning about getting the growth back. You know, with so much of confidence that we will definitely get our growth back, and wo economy में भी वो एक जो it will all come back to normal. नॉर्मलसी आ जाएगी. ये सिचुएशन को भी हम फेस करेंगे बिकॉज दैट इज द कॉन्फिडेंस वी ऑल एज अ कंट्रीमैन वी हैव टुडे, बिकॉज वी हैव द बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट सिस्टम्स इन प्लेस. आइडियाज है, थॉट्स है, इनोवेशंस है, टेक्नोलॉजी है. हम इसका एक अच्छी तरह से वी कैन कम टुगेदर. एंड आई ऑल्सो बिलीव इन द लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन. लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन इज यू थिंक पॉजिटिव. अब हम जैसे नेगेटिव सोचना शुरू कर देता है तो चीजें मैनिफेस्ट भी नेगेटिव हो जाता है. तो यहाँ पे अगर इस सिचुएशन को भी हम इसमें व्हाट इज द पॉजिटिव पार्ट ऑफ इट हम इसको ले और नेगेटिव पार्ट को हम मिटिगेट करें इन टर्म्स ऑफ पता है कोरोना है या सिचुएशन है, हम देख नहीं पाते, हम इतना इजीली एक्सेसिबल नहीं हो पाएंगे. वी हैव टू लीव विद इट. We have to be very have to take all those stringent measures, social distancing, anything and everything, but look at the positive aspect of it. इसमें opportunities क्या है, उस opportunities को देख करके आगे का जो हमारा even as a government also as a country also we want to be a $5 trillion economy, what we are talking about, and that can definitely happen if we all of us, I mean at every level, either it is the MSMEs or entrepreneurs, industry leaders, everyone including the farmers, institutions, हर हम एक टीम वर्क के तरह अपनी अपनी एरिया में एक पॉजिटिव फिलॉसफी आइडियोलॉजी के साथ हम चीजों को समझे, ना कि गेट नेगेटिव. और चीजें नेगेटिव है तो उस चीज को और नेगेटिव हम सोच करके करेंगे तो वो चीजें नेगेटिव ही होनी है. लेट अस थिंक द पॉजिटिव एस्पेक्ट ऑफ इट एंड पॉजिटिव रह करके हम आगे बढ़े. तो मुझे लगता है कि आने वाले कल में वी विल कम बैक टू व्हाट वी आर. वी विल इट्स अ न्यू नॉर्मल. it's a word which is being used now. मतलब we have to be with it. हर वो पैंडेमिक, हर वो रिसेशन के बाद में हमें उसके साथ चलना ही होगा. This will become a part of it. But till the time Corona gets come to a halt and all that, we will have to live by it. We'll have to maintain the restrictions and take it positively and go to the next level.
In fact, one thing adding, Dr. Kumar, for all of us, सबसे बड़ा market is India itself. Is the biggest market which is going to now come up. So be very confident. The consumption market is very big. हम लोग न्यूज़ में पढ़ रहे हैं, a lot of countries are interested in coming to India. Remember one thing, they are not wanting to come to India because the climate is very good. They're wanting to come to India because you are sitting on a very big consumption market. So be optimistic on that.
Right.
Prashant,
Yeah.
I share the optimism of both my panelists. I think the short-term pain is going to be there, right? And short-term pain of, I mean, this is something another study also showed, which is 1/3 of businesses are likely to go under. For that entrepreneur, I think it is going to be the most painful thing. Probably they will reinvent themselves and bounce back. That's what happens to entrepreneurs generally. And 1/3 of businesses are going to require support to survive and thrive. Another 1/3 have built reserves and surpluses sufficient, and also probably because they are in segments which are less affected and therefore are likely to come out much more stronger. To me, I see two opportunities in addition to what both my esteemed colleagues are saying. One is the consumption market of India and the inherent resilience of the Indian entrepreneur and the market. and the tremendous amount of support systems which exist. The second is the growing international market. Now there is a fairly big anti-China wind which is blowing across the world. Now, where is that benefit going to go? It is going to come to India, Vietnam, Bangladesh, and a few other countries. I think India is still not ready to take that challenge on, in my view. And I think this crisis is a great opportunity to invest in high quality manufacturing, in reliable quality assurance, in reliable supply chains, in following not just compliance of workers and their rights, but going beyond that, being one of the best workforce building opportunities. All of it is in front of us, right? But let's not forget the short-term pain for people who are on the edge of about to lose their business. That is likely to happen. And some of the schemes and programs and support systems are likely to keep some of them to the next level. But to me, as an Indian citizen, and as a congenital optimist, I was born an optimist, I'll die one. To me, it's about taking this opportunity and really seizing it and moving into the next level, not forgetting that this pain is very good pain, because nothing comes out of this pain. Nothing gained doesn't come without pain, right? Thank you.
In fact, Mr. Kumar, you won't believe, I have in this pandemic, I think I was not knowing Dr. Kumar Prashantji, we have the capacity to showcase to Indians the quality of products that we have. The other day, I was contacted by a lady from Mysore. She said she was into agarbattis, and I can assure you the confidence with which she was saying. I think the quality she was saying was appreciated across. I've got people who said they are into manufacturing of certain COVID items. For example, they have innovated COVID products. They are coming up and they are making very high quality products. So again, we are ourselves a very, very good nation to produce good quality product. Yes, Mr. Kumar, as you said, we have to rise on our quality. Post COVID, agar hamari quality achhi nahi rahi, if we are doing a short term planning on businesses, we will not survive. Customer will focus on quality. He will not compromise on quality. You have to attend to quality. You have to attend to customers' need at a faster time. On the contrary, this is a big market which is going to come up. Prashantji.
Yeah. Before we take the questions, and carry it forward, is there a need to change the way we work? Because we have all the schemes coming out. We have everything, what the government is saying, that financial package, this package, that package, everything is there, right? But then it is not filtering down to the person below, right? Because we are still getting questions as to, I want to register as an MSME. What is the procedure? Are there any fees involved? Udyog Aadhaar registration. So, retailers planning to become MSME just to get that government schemes, on board. So in short, if I can get an answer, do we need to change the flow of the information? Or because, as Mr. Shiv said, like webinars and all, we have been doing webinars and everything is there. But not everyone is technologically advanced. People somewhere, they, we now the stage has come that we need to empower these people digitally. So in short, if I can, do we need a new way of working? Do we need a new way of information passage or the schemes?
I can't agree with you more. And as Dr. Kumar was already hinting at it, a lot of MSMEs are moving in that direction. And again, in the Walmart Vriddhi program, originally we thought of setting up physical institutes which will support MSMEs. And thanks to coronavirus, we had to quickly adapt and set up an online, learning management system, which our MSMEs can utilize. And I know that MSME institutions, associations, and like Raviji are all available for online consultations now than ever before. And I think our support systems will need to move online. And some of our MSMEs will also have to move online. And one of the things I just want to quickly give you as something I've noticed among the MSME community is that the first generation of business people generally have been men, right? Who built a vessel business or some small export business, chewing gum, whatever MSME they've built. The second generation of leaders are coming in, right? They are far more savvy, tech savvy. But let's not underestimate just because based on age. Let's not be ageist at all. Anybody at any age can learn technology. It's not a problem. I think to answer your question, Prashant, yes, we need to use technology and help MSMEs in ways that can be done better than before. I think we can intermediation costs will come down. Number two, there is a lot of technology which can be used within MSME manufacturing itself, which becomes important because of the social distancing. Even within factories, one needs to use. Even factory workers coming in need to be screened at a certain level, right? So there is an application of technology for MSMEs is no more a matter of choice. I think it's a weapon. I think they should deploy it strategically. And one of the dreams for me is to actually set up an academy of all tools that MSMEs can use, both free and priced, which they can use for better, doing better business using technology.
If I can add a little more to what Shivji mentioned, that reminds me of the 3 Ps, which I always talk about. If we are to become Atmanirbhar Bharat, and if want to become vocal and go global, the 3 Ps which I always talk about is people related, process related, and production related. So people related, we need to upgrade our the behavior and the attitude of the people, the way they work. We need to upskill the talent. We need to update our knowledge and the information. We'll have to keep on, update all the or whatever is there contemporary required to move ahead. Process related, definitely we need to ensure we need to streamline the processes in terms of abiding with the rules and the law of the land, whether it is legal or whether it is domestic or an international. Because right now with the procurement, the benefit which is now open up to 200 crores, we can actually reach out to the global market also, to the e-platform or a e-fintech platform. Now, to do that, and if there are investors or people abroad who wants to invest in our country, I think these are all important things. And that also adds to the security aspect of it, because when we talk about technology, the cyber security and the digital safety is very important here in the process, and the feasibility and the adaptability, that is on the process. And finally, when we talk about production, the timing, quality, and the pricing, how fast we can complete our project and deliver, how best our quality can be of international standards, so we live up to the expectations of the investors, and the pricing aspect of it, how cost effective we can work out, it would be a win-win situation. So I think these are the 3 Ps. I'm leaving this discussion to for all the participants, everyone to take care of the people related, process related, and production related. That will bring more of success, and it will take us to the next level of what we are aiming at. Thanks.
So yeah, I guess we'll take the questions. Yeah, sure.
Prashantji, one more thing about technology is also how we are going to leverage the behemoths of Amazons and Flipkarts and big baskets in the country, right? That's another big opportunity for MSMEs, particularly Raviji, to your point of local demand. I think one of the things in Walmart Vriddhi we've been working on, because Walmart family includes Flipkart, is to really help MSMEs to quickly, obviously not all MSMEs can take advantage of it, but many MSMEs can look at this marketing channel, online marketing channel, which is built by Flipkart, as a way to market their products much faster, much less costly in terms of the market access charges too. I think when it comes to technology, some of the things are big elephants in the room. We don't look at it also. It doesn't mean computers and software and apps. It is about leveraging people who have already built a digital infrastructure, and how do we ride on that to help the MSMEs. So I think that's another method which I think MSMEs are very rapidly adopting. Even in Panipat, where we are working, and we eventually will be scaling up to 25 clusters, What we are seeing is Flipkart it seems to be a very good method, as long as obviously the quantity and quality and the pricing matches, is a very good opportunity for MSMEs to get to the market.
So yeah, we'll take the first question from Mr. Arun Nayak. Instead of government financial schemes to MSMEs, do you think government should think of providing market demand creation and allowing liquidity would be ideal? So Raviji, you want to take this question?
Yeah, I'll just, Mr. Nair, the answer to your question is very simple. Apart from giving you some reforms, some economic packages, don't you think government through its announcement of Go Local, giving you a market, giving you an segment where you can explore Indian market, and you can sell better by opening announcements that up to a tender of about 200 crores, you have to be local rather than being a global. These are all I think opportunities which you need to capture. Plus, you please also understand, government has its own agendas and own other bigger issues to also attend, rather than only be focused on looking for one segment's market.
One question from Mr. Manju. Manju, how the industry leaders are prepared to help the MSME sector to stand back on their legs? As the banks still have no clarity about the government schemes, banks still hesitate to implement them.
Yeah. If I
Dr.
can.
Ramesh.
Yeah. So I think banks are still hesitant to implement these schemes. If you ask about there is a lot of pressure from the government there to ensure that the package is reached to the eligible borrowers in the society there, in the MSME fraternity. So there is a process. I mean, told many of the banks are working very aggressively. There is a manpower shortage there, but they're still reaching out to all those eligible borrowers. There are challenges. I'm not saying that every bank is that aggressive. So I think required message is being shared to the responses given to the government also to take care of all those MSMEs. And how we need to look into the overall industry herein is we should also empower every other the people there, the MSMEs, in helping them move to the new business models wherever it is possible. If they are not able to, let's say for example, the travel industry, right now the travel industry or entertainment industry or the aviation industry was completely on a halt. Everything went on a halt. So what are the other ways they can reach out and run their business? How do they survive? So I think this particular year, I believe, is a year of survival, not for profitability or in terms of earning revenues. Basically, it is to survive, and we have to look into what all we can do to take care of the survival. That's how
In fact, just to add to this question, what Shivji was also saying, Mr. Manju, are you going to the banks for a specific scheme? Do you know about the scheme with on which you should go and apply, or you're just going without understanding? See, please understand, I'm your well-wisher. So under what scheme are you going and talking? Are you have a business plan in hand? Please understand, the lender will see your projections before giving you loans. So that is what Shiv ji was trying to say that he is doing, or even all of us are doing, is to make you aware of what all are the schemes under which you can go and apply.
There's a question for you, Shiv Kumar ji, from Mr. Arun Nayak. In short term, main USP is providing awareness on government schemes, making them understand on Udyog, Aadhaar, registrations, and also webinars related to MSMEs, along with creating marketplace e-commerce, will really help MSMEs to overcome this crisis. So I guess, yes, it's not a question, but I guess it's a statement on what you mentioned.
Yeah, it's more a statement, and agree. I think Raviji just now touched upon it. Is that be aware what are you applying on, whether you will be eligible for, and don't forget there is competition everywhere. This is a business, right? I mean, and even if government is giving out certain schemes for revival or coming out of this crisis, it is not going to reach everybody on everything, right? And one cannot expect that at all. It is not possible at all. So therefore, there will be competition even if you are going to be applying for schemes. So the more clearer you are what you want to do and what scheme is most applicable and what is useful. Let's not forget, just because there is a borrowing capital when your economic cycle is not fully in place, actually can damage you more rather than do good, right?
Very nice,
And,
very nice.
And this is very simple economics. I feel very bad telling this to entrepreneurs. I think you will need to manage your equity and your debt very carefully. And just because government is offering 3-month EMI moratorium, if we are going to go to the I'm going to take that moratorium, please think carefully, because all of this comes at a cost. And as Rameshji and Raviji have been saying, calibrate. This is about survival, save cash, conserve your capital, and look for more orders. Look inside on how you're going to improve your processes. Ready yourself for a big bang expansion, because when the economy takes off, it is going to take off like a rocket, right? And that has been why has the stock market not kept in tune with all of these crises? Tell me, right? Where is the confidence coming from of the investors, including Indian investors who are not pulled out from mutual fund in big way? Because the story is still left in us, right? The economic story and the age story, which is on our side, and the demand, local demand story, and the international demand story is all on our side.
We are the world's biggest market, as you know, nobody can deny that. So, there's a certain thing like, many retailers are planning to come under MSME. They're planning to get an MSME tag. So there was a question, does a retailer come under MSME and can he get the benefits of the MSME package declared by the government? Anyone would like to take that?
I think Raviji or Rameshji, go for it.
Because it's happening, there are lots and lots of retailers who are rushing for this MSME tag.
See, now my first question to everybody here is, do you think taking an Udyog Aadhaar or applying for a certificate makes you eligible for what you are actually wanting? See, government has eliminated certain things, want to make the processes easy. So please understand, it is not about what are you doing. It is about how you are doing and what is that service. What is that service enabling you to reach at a particular point on which even your lenders will take a call. But please do not consider it as if you are a trader. Please understand, I will say that you are also giving a service. You're also a ancillary to maybe a service ancillary to a manufacturer, or maybe a service ancillary to, say, somebody in the apparel industry. Shivji, am I right? What as of now, what we are seeing in this maybe I'll say in this pandemic is people are rushing to get MSME certificates. Please don't be under that notion. It's not required for everybody.
Yeah.
Just to add here to Raviji's point, definitely what is being told is very valid. But however, I personally feel every of the entrepreneurs should get registered in the Udyog Aadhaar, and even it as a micro entrepreneur, because as the new investment, the criteria is based on the investment and the turnover. It's up to 1 CR and the turnover up to 5 crore. Definitely, as I said, 80 to 90% of the entrepreneurs are not aware about the schemes. There are different schemes. You get subsidies, you get lot of benefits in the MSME ministries schemes. So there is, I would personally advise everyone to come forward. They can take the benefit, get registered, and take the benefit of MSME schemes. But don't expect that the immediate finance thing which you are talking about will come in. That also will come at a cost, but you have to be prepared for it. So, but otherwise, there are many other things which you can always take the benefit of.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, I'll just take a last question. Okay. This is from CA Mahendra Turakia from Mumbai. The increase in the limit, the increase in the limit of turnover to rupees 250 crores for MSME unit has created apprehension in the mind of the small MSME units that the bank would prefer to serve the big fish rather than the smaller fish. So your views on that?
That's just an apprehension. What's his first name?
CA Mahendra.
Mahendraji, this is just an apprehension. If I tell you the background on which the discussion was taken up, a formal request was put up to the ministry to take this up. The finance ministry discussed on this is, you also have to see once your turnover is, you have to relate the turnover with what are the investments that you are doing into plant and machineries. And let me tell you, while the lender always has a soft corner for somebody who is big, who has a track record, clean track record, it will never ever forego the smaller players. Because if you see, you are very well aware, every bank has got an MSME segment. Every bank caters for that, and the government is closely focusing on MSMEs. So just because by raising the turnover limits, by raising the definition, does not mean that the lenders will only go to that. It is just a pure apprehension.
Prashantji, I want to come in here. I think I want to connect to what Raviji said and the other apprehensions which are there for MSMEs in terms of what they can do during this period. I want to take two parallels. What happened to the auto industry during Obama time when they were in such a doldrum? Detroit as a city of producing cars was literally bankrupt, right? They saw actually an opportunity, and rather than give handouts and schemes, they came up with a very clear investment plan to take American auto to the world. That's why you started seeing Ford cars in India. When have we seen that, right? I mean, only in the last 10, 12 years, we have seen Ford cars being sold in India in such a big way, Chevrolet being sold in a big way. Now, what happened to that investment is that the entire auto industry managed to return all the money back to the government, right? I personally feel rather than just, I mean, schemes and programs, I think are good ways to do things, but I see a massive opportunity for big investors to come in and invest in this growth story of MSME and actually support them through advisory, through capital, through technology. And when they do, the returns are skyrocket high, right? They would not only recover their money, probably they'll go home laughing to the bank wherever they are. Right? So I think the reason is simply because we are just coiled back like a spring, right? Because of the COVID. And I think that effect and plus the global market looking at Indian markets and Indian production far more positively because of the China pushback. I think we need to ready ourselves quickly. And that is not about give outs and handouts. It is about actually thinking big and thinking very business-like and thinking like global, global country that we are. And we were once the largest economy in the world, right? And we will get there. But the point is we cannot think like a small economy anymore. And my sincere submission is that, I mean, I'm not big enough to say this, but I'm brave enough to dream of this, is actually an MSME fund which invests and grows with the MSME sector will actually be one of the most profitable businesses or investments in the world, I would say.
Yes. Yeah, Dr. Ramesh, any final before we conclude?
No, I think I would leave it with a thought that let's be positive enough. Let's be very much positive with the present scenario. Let's withstand with the present challenge what we are facing through. Let's leave with it. It's a new normal, and let's adapt and accept the new virtual way of doing business. That's very important here. If I say I'm from one industry and industries go for a toss and I cannot get into another industry, no. You will have to be agile. You have to change the way you think and talk about the business. And I'm sure with the new means and new support from across all the sectors from the government and the ministry, let's go for it and be positive and make a difference. And let's bring our country to a next level of it. The mission of $5 trillion economy, what we're talking about. And that's something which we can be optimistic about, and we will get our growth back and be very positive. That's my message to all the MSMEs. And stay safe, stay strong, take care of your health and your family, whichever part of the country you are. That's my message for all of them. Thank you.
Raviji, your words.
It was one thing that I would like to tell all our MSME colleagues is that see this as an opportunity. Please make shorter goals, revive your cash cycles. Do not get disheartened. This is the period where your patience will be tested. So, but the market is so good that it's worth waiting. It's just a matter of surviving for some more time. Things are very bright, and do not make any major capital investment is one very strong, my personal view. Save liquidity for the time being, and you will have markets opening up. India is a big market. See your own markets. Always remember one thing. Whenever you are low on sales or when you feel that how will I revive, India is a country where people believes in savings. So that money is also going to come out. The demand will come out. So it should give you a positive sign. And please go through all the government schemes. If you have any questions, please reach out to Inspire team. And I think Inspire team will help you in coming out to us. And I think please understand, see, the crux of all this 1 hour of discussion was that all of us were trying to tell you that the opportunity lies with you only, but you should know what you are attempting at. That's what I'm trying to say. And let me tell you one thing: we'll be the first country to come out of it in a very strong manner.
Right. So basically, we'll end this. MSME is a pretty vast sector. It's very difficult to cover everything, in this short time. So we will be coming out with more webinars in this series. Okay. But then, yes, one takeaway is do not rush into things, right? Be positive. There are opportunities. Okay. Once we start celebrating our festivals, Diwali and all those things, things will definitely the market, we are the largest market of the world, and the world looks over to India for this. So just stay there, hang there, the information and everything will be there. So in that note, we just, thank all the panelists and all the attendees. Thank you very much for being a part of this.
Thank you so much, Prashantji, for inviting us. And this has been a wonderful platform for echoing our thoughts. And I'm sure this would have been brought in a lot of insights to all the participants there who have been a patient listener till now. And thank you so much, Inspire, and you especially for inviting me and our other panelists also. Wish you all the very best. Thank you so much, Raviji. Thank you so much, Shivji. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you, Prashant. And the sun is setting. I'm looking at sunrise for tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for patiently being there to all the participants.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so
pleasure
much.
meeting both of you, sir. I will look forward to interacting with Raviji and Rameshji.
Definitely. Thank you so very much. Namaskar. Dhanyawad.